Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for being here tonight. My name is Chris Schiffer. I'm here as chair of the Community Foundation. So the Community Foundation is really pleased to host the annual Volunteer Recognition Awards in order to spotlight and really celebrate the incredible contributions of our neighbors and friends here in town. And we are continuing a tradition of recognition that was begun back in 1998. Just quickly about the New Canaan Community Foundation together here. And that is, we came together as a foundation because a group of civic-minded residents formed our organization back in 1977, nearly 50 years ago. And that kind of civic engagement is clearly alive and well today, here in this room, and it's what makes our community so special. Just briefly, the Foundation's mission is to do three things. Make important grants, often to many of the organizations that are represented here tonight, but actually numbering about 100 organizations in our community. We respond to and we lead on local issues such as recently the emergency COVID response, as well as the broad challenges that are often presented by issues in behavioral health, early childhood care, and overall human health services. And finally, we partner with New Canaan residents in their philanthropy, often serving as a way for them to invest through us or alongside us, perhaps even with a donor advice fund that we can help them manage. You should know that we are in the midst of our annual grant review process, which is powered by the generosity of our annual appeal. And it's our community that funds our work year-round, including the grants that ultimately support many of the organizations here and in our community. I hope that you'll consider giving or engaging with us so that we can collectively invest in a healthier and more vibrant community. So thank you for all the ways that you work with us and trust us as your partner. Now to the volunteer awards. And let me start out with a quick shout to the Volunteer Recognition Committee, nicely assembled next to me, which is itself all volunteers, and for the work they do each year to make sure we're recognizing and thanking those working in our community. And it's a pleasure to be able to do so. And to open tonight's event, I'd like to present the very first volunteer award myself. So I am pleased to recognize Tom Reynolds here in the room. Let's hear it. The New Canaan Land Trust put forward and nominated Tom Reynolds for the hands-on most valuable player in a board member role and wanted to award him this volunteer recognition. Tom is an exceptional and deeply dedicated leader whose impact on the New Canaan Land Trust is felt across almost every aspect of their work. For the last 8 years, Tom has been an invaluable creative member of the Development and Outreach Committee and led the creation just recently of the 2025 Land Trust Annual Impact Report from start to finish. His attention to detail and consistent follow-up has ensured the successful and timely mailing of close to 10,000 letters and emails per year to keep the membership of the Land Trust up to date. Tom recently enthusiastically embraced the challenge of launching and implementing the Land Trust's $3.5 million capital campaign to purchase and renovate the Group's House headquarters as operational co-chair of the Preserving the Future campaign. So thank you for that. Interestingly, Tom initiated the New Canaan Land Trust's American Chestnut Tree Project, coordinating the Connecticut chapter of the American Chestnut Foundation and overseeing the planting of saplings and seedlings at the Land Trust new headquarters. He also identified a previously unrecorded chestnut specimen at the Land Trust Calhoun Reserve that proved to be a rare, surviving, mature American chestnut tree. Quite a remarkable find. Tom also served as project manager for the Japanese garden quest for the Williams family, overseeing that project from concept to completion. Colleagues rightfully described him as a Swiss Army knife for his ability to contribute meaningfully across many areas. Tom contributes extraordinary time and energy far beyond the typical volunteer expectations and is always willing to help. Everything Tom does is not only for the good of the land trust, but for the broader community, helping all residents enjoy the beautiful open spaces of our town and fostering a lasting connection with our natural world. And for that, we say thank you, Tom, and we recognize you for your
It's truly my honor to stand here tonight to recognize someone who exemplifies the very best of our community, and that is Scott Hobbs. Volunteerism is the backbone of any strong and vibrant town. It requires commitment, patience, and a genuine desire to serve others. Scott has demonstrated all of those qualities and more. Through his dedicated service on the Housing Authority, Scott has taken on work that is both complex and deeply important. Affordable housing is one of the most challenging and consequential issues facing our community. It demands careful judgment, thoughtful collaboration, and a steady, reasoned approach. Scott has consistently brought all of those strengths to the table. He has worked diligently to ensure that decisions are made responsibly, fairly, and with a long-term sustainability in mind. His efforts have helped balance the needs of residents, the requirements of policy, and the values of our town. That kind of leadership does not always happen in the spotlight, but it has a lasting impact. What stands out most about Scott's service is not just the time he's given, but how he gives it. He approaches issues with professionalism and integrity. He listens carefully. He asks thoughtful questions. He is solution-oriented. And he never loses sight of the fact that the work ultimately serves the people. Communities do not thrive by chance. They thrive because individuals like Scott who choose to invest themselves in something larger than their own interests. Scott, your service on the Housing Authority has strengthened our community in meaningful ways. Your leadership, dedication, and steady presence have made a real difference. On behalf of all of us, thank you for your generosity, your time, your thoughtful leadership, and your commitment to serving our residents. It is with sincere gratitude and great appreciation that we present the Community Initiative Award to Scott Hobbs. It's my sincere pleasure to present our Youth MVP Award to Jordan Alexander for his work at Building One Community. Building One Community was created 10 years ago to advance and support the integration of immigrants into our communities. They offer language, literacy, and academic initiatives, as well as legal, career, and family services. Jordan has been a dedicated volunteer since 2023, and as one of the staff of Building One Community noted, an integral part of our organization. He has given over 150 volunteer hours in programs such as skills development, homework club, technology literacy, and helping at community events such as the holiday party. His nominators also noted that Jordan consistently goes above and beyond by recruiting volunteer groups, which expands their reach and their volunteer base. Jordan has been named the Youth Ambassador to New Canaan High School, where he founded the Building One Community Club. In this role, he has mobilized his peers to help support immigrant families through homework assistance, community events, and other programming. He was a guest speaker at Building One Community's annual benefit, where he shared his experience with an audience of over 700 people. He is adored and respected by staff and his fellow volunteers and has made an invaluable impact on the organization and its clients. Jordan, thank you so much for all the work you have done to help immigrants learn, communicate, and acclimate. You're an amazing example of what youth volunteerism can be.
Feeding 500 with the Youth Group MVP Award. Feeding 500 is an exclusively run student organization partnered with Open Doors. a housing and homeless service nonprofit in Norwalk. The New Canaan chapter of Feeding 500 is the founding branch of the organization, and in 2026 they are celebrating their 5th year of providing foods, funds, and support to help close the hunger gap in our community. 5 years ago, this group presented Feeding 500 with an award to then co-founder and president, Alexander Tuff. And he said it best. Feeding 500 has proved to be unique in that it's composed entirely of high school-aged students, all willing to contribute their time and effort into making a difference in their community. What we accomplished in only a few months made it clear to all that bright minds put together for a cause could make a great change regardless of age. At their start, one of the group's goals was to start programs in other high schools. The Feeding 500 New Canaan students literally wrote the book on the program and created a guidebook to help students start chapters in their own towns. They have now helped other towns launch their chapters with 110 students between Darien, Westport, Wilton, Greenwich, Brian McMahon High School, and Larchmont High School. In the current school year, the students of Feeding 500 New Canaan have provided approximately 1,500 meals to our neighbors through the kitchen and grocery pantry at Open Doors by holding food drives, raising funds, and volunteering their time. Open Doors Executive Director Michelle Condorino often highlights Feeding 500 as an example of lasting change that young people can bring about at a time in their lives when they feel they may have a lack of influence in their communities and in the world. Michelle said, "It can sometimes feel that problems can't be solved and that they're too big and too complex. These students found a way to make a difference in our own community in a way they can actually see. One person can make a difference and they can change somebody's life." I am very honored to present the 2026 Outstanding Youth Group Award to Feeding 500 co-presidents Grayson Handler and Dante Marcelli.
I'm Jane Fox, and it's my pleasure to be here to present the Youth Rookie of the Year Award to Cassie Aravallo. Did I pronounce that right? Cassie? I don't know where Cassie is. There you are. Did I say that right? Okay, good. This is coming from her work at Waveney Life Care Network. And as someone who has worked herself in the long-term care and senior living field, I know how challenging these situations can be, and really just dazzled by the words that came from Waveney about Cassie's work. If I may go on, Cassie's a junior volunteer at Waveney Life Care, where she made an immediate and meaningful impact through her quiet compassion and maturity well beyond her years. Working primarily with residents in the memory care community, she worked with many people who were living with advanced dementia and other symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. What sets Cassie apart is her natural ability to connect one-on-one with residents who are often difficult to engage with by approaching each person with patience, with empathy, and with respect. Through her calm conversation, attentive listening, and gentle encouragement, 3 things that are not easy to do on a regular basis with anyone, Cassie has been able to draw residents out. And the staff has noted many times that they can see them really feeling seen, feeling valued, and feeling truly supported. Cassie goes well beyond the typical expectations of a junior volunteer. She willingly and thoughtfully works one-on-one with residents who may require extra time, sensitivity, and emotional presence. People who are also typically, or may also typically be unresponsive and then become animated and joyful with her. Her visits leave them either smiling or just simply enjoying a peaceful moment of connection. She has improved their quality of life and brought comfort not only to the residents, but to their families and to the staff. Her service reflects the very best of youth volunteerism, compassion and action. Step right up.
Youth Rookie of the Year Award on behalf of Open Doors. This award recognizes a young person who has not only stepped forward to serve, but has done so with heart, humility, and an extraordinary level of commitment. This year's nominee, Will Taylor, exemplifies all of those qualities and more. Will began volunteering this school year with After School Buddies in Norwalk, a program that serves families staying in the shelter and provides children with a safe, welcoming after-school experience during an incredibly challenging time in their lives. From his very first day, Will jumped in wholeheartedly. Volunteering in this program requires patience, emotional intelligence, adaptability, and consistency. These are not small expectations, and yet Will embraced each one. He understood the after-school buddies is far more than basketball games and board games. It's about stability. It is about connection. It's about making children who are experiencing homelessness feel seen, supported, and valued. One of the most meaningful examples of Will's impact was the way he intentionally connected with one of the older students, who was initially very reserved. Through kindness, steady presence, and genuine friendship, Will helped that student feel more comfortable and happier in the program. That kind of impact cannot be measured, but it can absolutely be felt. And what makes Will especially deserving of this recognition is that he never hesitated to do behind-the-scenes work as well. Washing dishes, cleaning the kitchen, organizing supplies. Whatever was needed, he did it cheerfully and without being asked twice. He is dependable, polite, and consistently volunteers extra hours whenever help is needed. Will brings immense caring and kindness to everything he does. He truly embodies the very best of what it means to be a volunteer at After School Buddies and at Open Doors. For his dedication, his compassion, and his outstanding commitment to service, it is my pleasure to present the Youth Rookie of the Year Award to Will Taylor.
American horticulturist and botanist Luther Burbank once said, "Flowers always make people better, happier, and more helpful. They are sunshine, food, and medicine to the mind." Good evening. My name is Valerie Stryker, and it is my honor tonight to present the Outstanding Group Award to Flower Again. Jill Roby, who has always been passionate about flowers and their ability to brighten another's day, started Flower Again in April 2022 after serving for years as the chair of the Flower Committee of her church. Each week from April through October, flowers that normally would be thrown out from weddings, fundraisers, and corporate events are picked up and brought to the barn on Fridays and Saturdays at the conclusion of the event. Volunteers most weeks are doing some of the pickups at midnight. Now that is dedication. Other volunteers are going up to Middletown on Fridays to collect a donation of flowers from the Connecticut Flower Collective to be used in the arrangements. Sunday's first group of volunteers start sorting the flowers into colors and types of flowers. Approximately 200 mason jars are filled with water to await the next group of volunteers who arrive for the next phase. This group will create the beautiful bedside arrangements. It's amazing to see the variety of creativity that the volunteers come up with. A colorful ribbon and tag from Flower Again is placed on each arrangement, and they are placed in large section totes ready for delivery. Monday morning, another group of volunteers show up to the barn, and the totes are loaded into the vehicles for delivery. This group will bring the arrangement to places such as low-income assisted living facilities, rehab centers, and hospice care facilities. In most cases, the delivery team, with the help and guidance of a facility staff member, go door to door and give residents a beautiful flower arrangement that brings joy and brightens their day, their spirit, and their room. A new project that started this past summer was to bring Flower Again to facilitate workshops at the Stanford Senior Center. This repurposing event enabled participants to learn about arranging and to create their own beautiful works to bring home. It was greatly received and enjoyed by all. Let me share with you some of the numbers from the 2025 Flower Again year. There were 43 event pickups, 22 Connecticut Flower Collective pickups, 150 volunteers, 36 Fairfield County facilities served, 2,400 individual recipients, and over 5,500 bedside arrangements created and delivered. As Jill once stated, flowers elicit smiles. Now we can share in those smiles and be environmentally friendly at the same time, a win-win for humanity. I'm honored to not only present this award to Outstanding Group to Flower again, but grateful to also be a volunteer with this wonderful organization. Please come up.
Well, this is a tough act to follow. But I'm up to the task because the person I'm honoring is more than up to the task. This is for the Hands-On Hall of Fame Award given to a volunteer at Waveney Life Care Network, Martha Peretta. Martha has been a dedicated volunteer at Waveney Life Care here in New Canaan for over 21 years, contributing approximately, who knows, 1,500 hours of service, although I'll bet it's even more. During that time, she has served in nearly every volunteer capacity, directly supporting and enriching the lives of residents. Martha's calm and patient demeanor and cheerful attitude bring warmth, consistency, and genuine compassion to each and every interaction. She takes the time to know residents personally so they feel valued and heard. Her presence often brings comfort to residents who may be isolated or struggling. The staff regularly, that's a hard word to say, observes residents really brighten when they see Martha. Martha consistently goes above and beyond, stepping in wherever needed and offering extra time and attention to the residents without being asked. Whether it's spending one-on-one time with a resident, assisting with family barbecues, or decorating the community for the holidays, she's always eager to help. Through her extraordinary commitment, 21 years, and heartfelt service, Martha has meaningfully strengthened the Waveney community and truly exemplifies the spirit of volunteerism in New Canaan. Martha, please step up.
The fullness of this room this evening is testament to how much we value volunteerism in our community. So thank you all for being here this evening. Tonight I have the distinct honor of presenting a Hands-On Hall of Fame award to someone whose volunteerism isn't occasional. Speaking tough words. It's consistent, it's hands-on, and it's truly catalytic. It's the kind of service that doesn't just help an organization run, it helps our community feel held. When Terry Leopold is not at her day job as a senior leader at NBC Sports in Stamford, she can be found at person to person, month after month, doing the essential work that makes dignity possible for families experiencing food insecurity. And somehow, she does it in a way that makes everyone around her work a little better too. One of the many hats that Terry wears at person to person is helping to lead the toy store effort, making sure families receive meaningful gifts, and she mobilizes others to serve alongside her. Terry doesn't just volunteer, Terry volunteers in bold. She brings her NBC sports team, helps tackle the logistics, and even secures donated support that saves person-to-person real operational costs. She shows up for P2P's camp moments too, always adding thoughtful touches like donated swag beach towels that make families feel celebrated. And Terry, I'm hoping there's some bags of swag enough for you outside this evening. When I asked Terry why volunteering is so important to her and why P2P, her answer was a window into her heart and the essence of why we all volunteer. Terry said, volunteering creates a circle of benefits. Neighbors receive dignity, connection, and hope. And volunteers grow by lifting one another up. I began with person-to-person during COVID, and I keep showing up because they care for the whole family across so many needs. Jury Garone from Person to Person shared a story with me. Jury was walking through the Norwalk pantry when a client stopped her to thank her for helping her pick out a coat during the annual giveaway. The client said she still gets many compliments on it and that she stood up, did a quick twirl, and pointed to the sleeve, absolutely beaming with pride, pointing to the NBC Sports logo. Jury told me that she had tears in her own eyes because that moment captured what Terry does so quietly and so consistently. She continued, Terry helps people feel seen, proud, and cared for. That's Terry, the unassuming, gracious doer, simply getting it done for her neighbors. And most recently, Person to Person learned that NBC Sports will donate $25,000 from proceeds generated through branded merchandise. Another example of the deeper commitment Terry has helped foster through her advocacy and her leadership. So if Terry didn't bring enough swag tonight, go to the website and buy some swag, and the money goes to Person. But you get the recurring theme here, right? This is who Terry is. Terry, your service strengthens our community in ways that just ripple outward. It's an honor to recognize you tonight with the Hands-On Hall of Fame Award, and everybody please join me in congratulating Terry.
Hands-On MVP Award this year. In our meeting where we discuss the amazing work of the volunteers in our town, a phrase that often comes up is above and beyond. If anyone goes above and beyond, it is our next award recipient, Michael Canaro. In his role as the design lead for the library's annual Lit Luncheon for the last 4 years, he has surprised guests with such delights as hand-sewn tents and a 6-headed monster, live horses and a jockey, a real fountain, and a bright yellow Fiat inside the ballroom of Country Club, and a replica of Yellow House. This isn't called the Hands-On MVP for nothing. Each of these events required over 5 months of planning to build these dreamscapes from the ground up, and Michael had a hand in every detail. Allison Zinczenko, Michael's nominator from the library, pointed out that Michael's work on the library's largest fundraiser is part of an important cycle. He ensures that acclaimed authors want to be part of New Canaan Library's annual event, which in turn creates demand for event attendance and patron donations, raising important funds for the library each year, which fuel over 1,800 programs and events the library provides for the New Canaan community all throughout the year. I would like to point out that while this award is for his work at the library, Michael's impact on our town isn't limited to our library. He also designed the gorgeous outdoor learning center for West Elementary School, which enables our children to learn with their teachers and classmates in the courtyard of West School, complete with a winding path through the green space, a stage for performances, a vegetable garden, and outdoor classroom space. Michael is a wonderful member of our community, and we are so lucky that he's willing to donate his time and considerable talents to our town. Therefore, it is my absolute pleasure to present the Hands-On MVP Award to Michael Canaro for his work on the library's annual literary luncheon.
With the Hands-On MVP Award. Susan has been a volunteer at the New Canaan Museum and Historical Society for more than a decade. She has served as a board governor, been instrumental in helping put on numerous modern-day house tours, made creative decorations and table centerpieces for dozens of events, including children's programs, lunch and learns, galas, patron receptions. She has done everything from vacuuming the carpet, bartended, strategized on imaginative ways to pull off events with no budget, cut flowers from around the campus for arrangements, and used bits of wrapping paper and old boxes for tablescapes. Her creativity and ingenuity and hard work is second to none. She has spackled walls and cleaned display cases so that every exhibit looks its best. And she is constantly looking around to see what can be done to make the museum cleaner, better, and more professional looking. And while all of this is true, what has made Susan the true MVP is her volunteer work with the museum's clothing and textile collection. Their more than 6,000-piece collection includes 200 years of dresses, shoes, children's clothes, military uniforms, hats, fans, quilts, parasols, and much more. Susan has systematically entered images, descriptions, accession numbers, and other information to build an extensive digital database. This work has taken her thousands of volunteer hours over 5 years. In the process, she has located missing objects, helped to organize the storage system, and identified significant pieces of which the museum was unaware. Because of this work, the museum now uses the digital archive in the curation of exhibitions. Susan is now able to identify and locate pieces, think through themes of how best to display them, and help style and dress mannequins. Susan's work is invaluable, and she is now determined to digitize the museum's other collections, pewter, dolls, tools, art, and other objects. To have hired someone to do what she has done as a volunteer would have been impossible on the museum's limited budget. Susan shows up almost daily and eager to get to work. She is a self-starter who sees a problem and solves it. She is a friend to everyone on staff and is a leader to other volunteers. The museum is truly blessed to have her use her energies and talents for the benefit of the museum. And because of her, the museum's extensive, exquisite collections will be more available to members and visitors for generations to come. And I am very proud to present the hands-on MVP to Susan Friedman.
Mason, and I'm thrilled to present the Rookie of the Year Volunteer Award to Marshall Cass over there. I had the good fortune of onboarding Marshall as a volunteer when I worked with Staying Put, so I know firsthand what an incredible volunteer he is. In his first year, Marshall has completed 238 drives for Staying Put, totaling 3,928 miles, and yes, those miles are carefully tracked. Helping seniors in New Canaan stay in the homes in the community they love. I've seen his kindness up close, like the time he picked up a member from a restaurant who was having trouble walking. The member had to sit several times to catch their breath, and Marshall made sure they always had a chair. They chatted the whole way, turning a slow, tricky walk into a joyful, supportive experience. Marshall is not just an incredibly patient driver, but truly a friend, making the lives of our community members so much richer to have known him. Marshall, your dedication, warmth, and care inspire us all. And please join me in congratulating him on a well-deserved honor.
I serve as CEO of the Community Foundation, and I'm so pleased to see such a full room recognizing our town's great volunteers this evening. I'm here to present 2 awards tonight, and the first is this year's NCCF Impact Award to Allie Letty. We are incredibly grateful for all of the ways that Allie has stepped up at NCCF as a grant review volunteer and as a member of our scholarship committee. This is Allie's 3rd year doing grant review, and many of you will know that we are very fortunate at the Community Foundation to have returning volunteers. But I will say that Allie, as a new volunteer 3 years ago, was immediately recognized for her leadership. She carefully studied. She brought thoughtful questions to each and every visit and meeting that she had with organizations that were requesting grant funds from our community. She applied her social work background in a kind and a generous way. She facilitated great conversations and met organizations with helpful input. She's now very capably leading one of our grant teams, ensuring our community's grant dollars are making the biggest and best possible impact on important issues both in New Canaan and in our local community. Beyond our organization's walls, we also recognize Allie's deep investment in the broader New Canaan community. Her service to the New Canaan Land Trust, the West School PTC, and ABC New Canaan demonstrate a consistent dedication to our community's well-being. We're so fortunate to have caring volunteers like you, Allie, who go above and beyond in helping our town be a supportive and thriving place for everyone. And I'm personally grateful for the impact you have as part of New Canaan's very important volunteer corps. Allie. Okay, finally, I'm pleased to present tonight's Small Business Big Impact Award to CNH Automotive. So this story goes back to Canaan Carburetors. Many of you will know, a beloved biannual car show in town. And when this event began fundraising, they turned to the New Canaan Community Foundation to administer their ticket process and manage their charitable proceeds. NCCF partnered with Canaan Carburetors to brainstorm meaningful ways to make an impact with their giving. And ultimately, with the support of both the town's Department of Human Services and CNH Auto, the Canaan Carburetors Auto Assistance Program was born. Already, the program has helped residents with financial need get back on the road with reliable transportation for work, school, and family responsibilities. Since only April of last year, the program has already covered a total of nearly $10,000 in car repairs. These are smaller fixes, but very important safety work that adds up and would really impact families without the additional resources to bear these costs. Most common work has included safety checks, tire rotations, oil changes, axle work, battery replacements, and brake servicing. This partnership only works because of CNH's generosity, flexibility, and craftsmanship. They trim costs or donate services to ensure we can stretch these charitable dollars as far as possible. The CNH team are the linchpin of the program, not just providing skilled labor, but doing so with compassion and true spirit of community. You strengthen the safety net of New Canaan in a very tangible way, and we are deeply grateful for that. Accepting the award tonight is CNH Auto's founder, Sean Brennan.
Thank you, Lauren, and thank you everyone who came tonight. And thank you for being here to support our volunteers and the awards that they were given. I would first like to thank everyone who submitted nominations. Without you, we would never know about all these amazing people and the wonderful things that they are doing. Thank you to all the awardees. Volunteerism is what connects people, and most organizations could not survive without them. We are happy to celebrate you and all the selfless giving that you have done. A huge thank you to our sponsors this evening. The New Canaanite, the Rotary Club of New Canaan, Club Sandwich, Swirl Frozen Yogurt, Curry Mango, and Zoombox. Please support these businesses as they have supported us, and we are so grateful for their partnership. Volunteering is not an easy thing for many people, but all of you today are the few that our committee have chose as going above and beyond what most people do to give back. You are the added layer of glue holding our wonderful community together and improving the many organizations and people that they serve. We would also like to say an enormous thank you to Brendan McMorrow of the New Canaan Community Foundation. The ceremony would not be what it is without his tireless work and amazing communication. You really helped pull this all together, and we are so grateful. Additionally, none of this would happen without our outstanding committee. It has been such a pleasure to work with you this year and for many years with many of you. We love our meeting and have great discussions and look forward to seeing you all next year.